So, let's talk about Oscars 2022. Or, well, I guess 2023, but, they're nominating 2023 movies, or not 2023 movies, 2022 movies. There, I want to talk about some things that I thought were snubbed, and then I also want to talk about the big controversy with this, what happened with the Oscars, which is that, let's just get that out of the way. They did not nominate a single or female director or led film this year at the Oscars. And for a lot of people who don't get why that's a big deal, because they're always like, well, this is about the best movie. Maybe there wasn't really good movies directed by women. No, there always are. It's weird that the Academy just refuses to, like, notice these films. They're always called out on it. And it really just boils down to the people who run these shows. They're older in nature. They don't really care. They're more sexist uh, more often than not, And I think what I would have done to alleviate this controversy is to nominate She Said. This is a movie that was very important. It was a movie talking about the Harvey Weinstein scandals, and it was a very excellent, enlightening movie. I would not go out of my way to watch it like over and over again or anything. It's not the best movie of the year. By means, it should not win, but it should be nominated just for its importance, for what its issues is bringing to light. Things that, even as someone who knew the story, I didn't know about, and the detail that film talked about it and addressed it. And it's absolutely a fantastic movie. Um, and if you haven't seen that movie, I mean, it's great. It's just very hard to watch film, and I can understand people not want to watch it because it's very uncomfortable, very gross. But that's the point. It's bringing to light horrible issues and horrible things that had happened and describing them in detail and trying to make you more aware of terrible things that have happened. And so that film should have been nominated for awards. Director should have gotten Best Director. I can see why she didn't get Best Director nomination, because this is not a film that's very flashy or very overly directed, but that's not the point of the movie. It's well directed for the type of movie it is, which is to say that it's a movie that's directed just to tell the point of the movie. It's not. It doesn't have fancy editing. It doesn't have all these fancy techniques or whatever, because that's not the point of the movie. Sometimes the most showy movie isn't the best movie, if that makes sense. And so that's what She Said was. It was not a very showy movie. It was a smaller movie. And I think if it hadn't bombed, maybe it would have gotten nominated for awards. Other than that, I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't see a lot of female-led films. I do want to see Women Talking this weekend. I believe it just opened a wide release. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna go check out that this weekend. Hopefully, I want to go see stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, for me, I don't really want to. I really don't know a lot of more female-led films, but I do think it is. I do think it is continually frustrating with the Oscars. A snub for me was I didn't see the Batman on the makeup category, and that's just ridiculous to me because Colin Farrell as the Penguin was so unrecognizable in all that makeup. It was just absolutely disgusting. Like, how they did not nominate that. Also, it should have been nominated for Best Original Score. I mean, bow, 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 bow. That sound is still in my brain. And that movie came out in March of 2022. Now we're in January 2023, and I still remember that sound. Amazing score. It should have been nominated for Best Cinematography, if you ask me. Um, the and it should have been nominated for Best Picture. A lot of people might fight me on that one, but man, I I would have taken out The Fablemans, and that's a hard one to say. I really love The Fablemans. It's a great movie. It's an excellent movie. But the thing is, when you nominate a film like The Fablemans for Picture and Best Director and all this stuff, you're just jerking Steven Spielberg's ego, and I absolutely adore Steven Spielberg, and it's a great movie. I loved it. I cried watching that movie, The Fablemans. I already pre-ordered the movie. I got the poster on the wall over here. Okay, not dissing that movie whatsoever. I'm not hating on it. I just think that when you're talking about that movie, Steven Spielberg is nominated and wins for all of his movies all the time. Why do we need to keep giving this dude another nomination for Best Picture? He got one last year for West Side Story, which it truly was one of the best pictures of the year last year, but at the same time, it's like you're just taking spots away from other people for freaking Steven Spielberg. One of the most recognized directors and filmmakers of all time. It's time to give other people chances, even though I am an incredible fan of his work and everything he does. But yeah, for the most part, I don't care about the Oscars anymore, but the reason why I still care is they still do represent how the industry operates and the way they see and project certain things. And it is cool to see certain people get awards. Even the Golden Globes. I hated the Golden Globes, but I watched the highlights on YouTube, and some of the speeches were so good that I actually cried watching them. They're just great, and I think if you are going to just dismiss the Oscars, I feel like most of the people who dismiss the Oscars and just talk shit about the Oscars don't watch the Oscars, and they don't watch these films. Most of these people, I start hearing them talk about, they're like, didn't see it, didn't see it, didn't see it. Okay, well then why are you talking about it? Because you didn't see these movies that are some of the best movies of the year. Tar, Banshees of Inisherin, The Fablemans. A lot of these movies, All Quiet on the Western Front, these were all great movies. And you're like, didn't see it, didn't see it. Well, then you are missing out. If you only watch the Top Gun Mavericks of the world, or that Avatar the 2, or whatever, then you're really missing out on a large majority of film. And I just think that so many people would just sit there and trash the Oscars. It's like, well, why do you care about trashing this award show that you don't even watch? I probably weren't ever that interested in the first place. That's just me where I'm at with it. I get why people don't watch the show in recent years, because in recent years the show has dropped in quality, but there's still so many great movies that deserve awards. Don't punish the artists and creators who deserve their awards for the amazing work and achievements that they do. That's just me.